Hello and welcome back to Bilal Consultancy, your trusted source for valuable insights on quality management. Today, we have an exciting topic to discuss: benchmarking quality tools. In this video, we will delve into the world of benchmarking and how it can help enhance performance in your organization. We'll also use diagrams and images to make the concepts crystal clear. So, let's get started. What is benchmarking? Benchmarking is the process of measuring your company's performance against other companies in your industry. It's a way to identify your strengths and weaknesses and to see where you can improve. Benchmarking can also help organizations identify areas, systems, or processes for improvements. Either incremental, continuous, improvements or dramatic business process re-engineering improvements. History of benchmarking. The history of benchmarking can be traced back to ancient civilizations. For example, the Egyptians benchmarked their construction methods against those of other civilizations. In the Middle Ages, European merchants benchmarked their prices and products against those of their competitors. In the modern era, benchmarking began to be used more formally in the early 20th century. Frederick Winslow Taylor, a pioneer of scientific management, used benchmarking to improve the efficiency of factories. In the 1950s and 1960s, Japanese companies began to use benchmarking to improve their products and services. In the 1980s and 1990s, benchmarking became popular in the United States and other countries. This was due in part to the success of Japanese companies, and in part to the publication of several books on benchmarking, such as Benchmarking: The Search for Industry Best Practices That Lead to Superior Performance by Robert C. Camp. Today, benchmarking is a widely used tool by businesses of all sizes. It is used to improve products, services, processes, and financial performance. The cross-functional team started by mapping the existing residence application process to establish a baseline, focusing attention on the process used by new first-year students. Left side, Figure 1. Types of benchmarking. There are many different types of benchmarking, but some of the most common include internal benchmarking. This involves comparing your performance to the performance of different departments within your own company. For example, you might compare the sales performance of your Eastern region to the sales performance of your Western region. Competitive benchmarking. This involves comparing your performance to the performance of your direct competitors. For example, you might compare your customer satisfaction rates to the customer satisfaction rates of your competitors. Process benchmarking. This involves comparing specific processes within your company to the same processes within other companies. For example, you might compare your order fulfillment process to the order fulfillment process of a competitor. Product benchmarking. This involves comparing your products to the products of your competitors. For example, you might compare the features and performance of your smartphone to the features and performance of a competitor's smartphone. Financial benchmarking. This involves comparing your financial performance to the financial performance of other companies. For example, you might compare your profit margin to the profit margin of a competitor. Other types of benchmarking include functional benchmarking. This involves comparing specific functions within your company to the same functions within other companies. For example, you might compare your marketing function to the marketing function of a competitor. Strategic benchmarking. This involves comparing your overall strategy to the strategies of other companies. For example, you might compare your expansion strategy to the expansion strategy of a competitor. Performance benchmarking. This involves comparing your overall performance to the performance of other companies. For example, you might compare your return on investment, ROI, to the ROI of a competitor. You can also use benchmarking to compare your performance to industry standards or best practices. For example, you might compare your customer satisfaction rates to the average customer satisfaction rates in your industry. The team presented its benchmarking report to management, describing the best practices seen at other universities and making specific recommendations for adapting them for Carleton. Right side, Figure 1. Carleton implemented many of the recommended changes and is seeing the benefits. How to develop and make it. To develop and make benchmarking, you can follow these steps. Identify the areas that you want to benchmark. This could include things like customer satisfaction, product quality, operational efficiency, financial performance, or any other area that is important to your business. Choose companies to compare yourself to. These should be companies that are similar to yours in terms of size, industry, and target market. You may also want to consider benchmarking against companies that are known for their excellence in the areas that you are benchmarking. Collect data on your performance and the performance of the companies you are comparing yourself to. This data can be collected through surveys, interviews, industry reports, or other sources. Analyze the data to identify areas where you need to improve. This could involve comparing your performance to the average performance of the companies you are benchmarking against, or to the performance of the best performing companies. Develop a plan to improve your performance in the areas where you are falling behind. This may involve implementing new processes, training your employees, or investing in new technology. Implement your plan and monitor your progress over time. Benchmarking is an ongoing process, so it is important to regularly review your performance and make adjustments to your plan as needed. Here is an example of how to develop and make benchmarking. A retail company wants to improve its customer satisfaction rates. The company decided to benchmark its customer satisfaction rates against the customer satisfaction rates of its three main competitors. The company collects data on its own customer satisfaction rates and the customer satisfaction rates of its competitors through customer surveys. The company analyzes the data and finds that its customer satisfaction rates are lower than the customer satisfaction rates of two of its competitors. The company identifies several areas where it can improve its customer satisfaction, such as its customer service response times and its product return policy. The company has developed a plan to improve its customer satisfaction in these areas. The company implements its plan and monitors its progress over time. The company found that its customer satisfaction rates improved significantly after implementing its plan. Benchmarking tools can provide businesses with a number of benefits, including improved performance. Benchmarking tools can help businesses to identify areas where they need to improve their performance. By comparing their performance to that of other companies, businesses can identify best practices and implement them in their own operations. Increased efficiency. Benchmarking tools can help businesses to identify and eliminate wasteful processes. By comparing their processes to those of other companies, businesses can identify areas where they can improve their efficiency. Reduced costs. Benchmarking tools can help businesses to reduce their costs. By comparing their costs to those of other companies, businesses can identify areas where they can save money. Improved customer satisfaction. Benchmarking tools can help businesses to improve their customer satisfaction. By comparing their customer satisfaction rates to those of other companies, businesses can identify areas where they can improve their customer service. Increased sales. Benchmarking tools can help businesses to increase their sales. By improving their performance, efficiency, and customer satisfaction, businesses can become more competitive and increase their sales. In addition to these general benefits, benchmarking tools can also provide more specific benefits depending on the type of benchmarking being done. For example, product benchmarking can help businesses to identify new product opportunities and to improve the quality of their existing products. Process benchmarking can help businesses to identify and eliminate bottlenecks in their operations. Financial benchmarking can help businesses to identify areas where they can improve their financial performance. Overall, benchmarking tools can be a valuable asset for businesses of all sizes. By using benchmarking tools to identify areas for improvement and to implement best practices, businesses can improve their performance, efficiency, customer satisfaction, and sales. Here are some examples of how businesses can use benchmarking tools to improve their performance. A retail company can use a benchmarking tool to compare its customer satisfaction rates to the customer satisfaction rates of its competitors. The company can then use this information to identify areas where it can improve its customer service. A manufacturing company can use a benchmarking tool to compare its production costs to the production costs of its competitors. The company can then use this information to identify areas where it can reduce its costs. A software company can use a benchmarking tool to compare the performance of its software to the performance of similar software products from other companies. The company can then use this information to identify areas where it can improve its software. Tip 1. To develop and make benchmarking step by step, you can follow these steps. Identify the areas that you want to benchmark. This could include things like customer satisfaction, product quality, operational efficiency, financial performance, or any other area that is important to your business. Tip 2. Be specific about what you want to measure. The more specific you are, the more accurate and useful your benchmarking results will be. Consider benchmarking against a variety of companies, including competitors, industry leaders, and companies in other industries. Choose companies that are similar to yours in terms of size, industry, and target market. Collect data on your performance and the performance of the companies you are comparing yourself to. This data can be collected through surveys, interviews, industry reports, or other sources. Tip 3. Use multiple sources of data to get a more comprehensive picture. Be careful when comparing yourself to other companies. Make sure that the companies you are comparing yourself to are similar to yours in terms of size, industry, and target market. If you are using industry reports, be sure to use reliable sources. Analyze the data to identify areas where you need to improve. This could involve comparing your performance to the average performance of the companies you are benchmarking against, or to the performance of the best performing companies. Tip 4. Look for patterns and trends in the data. Identify your strengths and weaknesses. Identify areas where you can make significant improvements. Develop a plan to improve your performance in the areas where you are falling behind. This may involve implementing new processes, training your employees, or investing in new technology. Tip 5. Set specific and measurable goals. Develop a timeline for achieving your goals. Identify the resources you will need to achieve your goals. Implement your plan and monitor your progress over time. Benchmarking is an ongoing process, so it is important to regularly review your performance and make adjustments to your plan as needed. Tip 6. Track your progress towards your goals. Identify any challenges or setbacks. Make adjustments to your plan as needed. Conclusion. In conclusion, benchmarking quality tools can significantly enhance your organization's performance and quality. It's a powerful tool that can drive continuous improvement. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to Bilal Consultancy for more insightful content on quality management and business improvement. Feel free to reach out to us for any further questions or consultancy needs. You can find our contact information in the video description below. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, benchmarking is not just about staying competitive. It's about being the best you can be. Stay tuned for more valuable insights from Bilal Consultancy. Until next time, take care and keep improving.